my manager quit, and then let's talk about why. So, what I asked of my manager and what his duties were really boiled down to some basic tasks that are very common among any fast food business. These are things like doing the inventory, ordering our food truck, watching food cost, making sure it stays around 28%, managing people, training, things like that. Really common tasks that you might think of for a manager of a fast food restaurant. And this particular manager was actually really great at doing these things. I did get a lot of complaints though daily, and his biggest struggle was actually not the task, but the people. For him, managing people was the most difficult part of this job. I have an employee who's been with Subway for over 8 years, and she's great. She really knows her stuff, but she's also not a team player, and it's created some conflicts among the team. Not so much that conflicts in the way of arguments, but just in the conflict in the way of following procedures that I've updated to in the way we're going to do things moving forward. This particular employee has even went as far just to flat out tell me no on certain things, even as the owner. And I've had to pull her aside and address things and show her the reasoning behind of certain changes to really get her on board. And really that shouldn't be the case. But so as you could imagine, if she's willing to just do that to me, that what it was like for the manager. And it really whittled him down to where he just didn't want to take on the role no more because he was having difficulties in getting people to listen. And that's even with me backing him up, things like that. As far as the task went of ordering food truck and maintaining the store in that way, it was smooth sailing. It was just getting everybody to listen on how to do certain things and follow procedures the right way is where the difficulty came in. So he's currently stepped down from the role, and I'll be taking on those tasks again myself. So that's going to be, I'll be doing the interviews, managing the people, and things like that. He has still offered to do food trucks and inventory, but I don't think we're going to do that, even though he got a raise when he became manager. And when he stepped down, I initially was going to lower his payback down to where it should be, but because you're taking on less responsibility. But after talking to him about some things, I decided to leave it where it was at. I think this will create a good opportunity, though, for me and my son to really have some extra bonding time, because he's going to come in with me on Mondays and Wednesdays, help out with truck, and I'm going to teach him how to do some of the managerial side of the store. He's only 12 right now, but these are still really great things that he can learn. And the way I've set up the process using another tablet and spreadsheets is really simple and easy. So just going through and teaching him how to do inventory and order truck will be great skills for him to learn. So maybe this is like a blessing in disguise, and this kind of gets him moving forward on the path of moving forward to learn how to run his own store one day. The biggest takeaway with all of this that I've really thought about is this is something I really need to figure out before I expand into more stores. I need to figure out the best way to pick my manager, train my manager, and empower them to run the store as if they owned it. That's something that I really need to work on and figure out, because it's very important, I believe. This particular manager, though, they were not without their own flaws, obviously. They were not perfect in many ways, so maybe they just weren't the best fit also. Either way, that's currently where I'm at in my having a manager for my store. So I'm stepping back in, picking up a lot of those tasks, and that's just how it'll be for now until maybe I expand and maybe I can separate these two individuals. It's almost reached the point now to where I don't even schedule them together just to avoid conflict. And it's not really arguing or headbutting, but it's constant nagging from both of them to me about one another. When they're not together, they're both great working on their own, but they just don't pair up well. But that's it for my manager update and how things are currently going in that department. And thanks for following my journey.